You hide $2 million from the IRS. Not in a mattress, nothing that dramatic. You route it through a business account, mix it with legitimate income, and quietly stop reporting the rest. On paper, you look like any other small business owner having an average year. Here's what actually happens next. The IRS doesn't audit randomly, no matter what people assume. Their software runs something called a discriminate function score on every return filed, comparing your numbers against thousands of other filers who share your income bracket, your industry, your deduction patterns. The moment your reported income sits meaningfully lower than what your lifestyle, your assets, and your spending actually suggest, that score climbs, quietly, long before a human ever opens your file. You buy a boat. You renovate a kitchen. You pay cash for a car instead of financing it, because cash feels untraceable. It isn't. Large purchases generate their own paper trail entirely separate from your tax return, title registrations, insurance policies, dealership financing records, and none of that paperwork cares what number you wrote down as your income last April. Within the first year, nothing happens. That's the part that gives people false confidence. The IRS has 3 years to open a standard audit and 6 years if they suspect you underreported income by 25% or more. Silence in year 1 isn't safety. It's just the length of the process nobody explains to you. Your business account gets flagged first, not you personally. Banks are required to file currency transaction reports on cash deposits over $10,000. And if you structure smaller deposits specifically to stay under that number, that pattern itself is a separate federal crime, more serious than the underreporting that started it. By month 8, a revenue agent, not an investigator, just an ordinary auditor, requests documentation for a single deduction that looked slightly unusual. It's routine. It's boring. But answering it means opening your books, and books don't lie selectively. Once one thread gets pulled, the agent can expand the scope of the audit to any year still within the statute of limitations. They don't need to prove where every dollar came from. They use something called the net worth method, comparing what you owned at the start of a period to what you own at the end of it, then asking whether your reported income can actually explain the difference. If it can't, the gap itself becomes evidence, even without a single receipt showing wrongdoing directly. Your accountant gets a call, not a threatening one, a routine one, requesting clarification on a client file. Most accountants aren't willing to risk their own license protecting a client's undisclosed income, and the moment they start answering questions carefully instead of casually, you already know something has shifted. If you moved money offshore, the calculation gets worse, not better. Since international banking agreements expanded information sharing between countries, foreign banks are now required to report American account holders directly to the IRS. The offshore account you thought was invisible sent its own report before you ever had to. By month 14, what started as a routine document request becomes a formal audit notice. It arrives by certified mail, plain envelope, ordinary government letterhead. Nothing about the moment feels as dramatic as the 2 years of quiet anxiety that led up to it. Here's the part almost nobody expects. If the numbers suggest willful intent rather than an honest mistake, the file doesn't stay with the auditor. It gets referred to criminal investigation, a completely separate division whose only job is deciding whether a case becomes a prosecution instead of a bill. Most audits never cross that line. The ones that do share one thing in common: a pattern that looks less like an error and more like a decision, repeated on purpose, year after year. The penalty was never really about the $2 million you tried to keep. Underreporting adds a penalty of up to 75% of the unpaid tax if it's ruled willful, on top of the original amount owed, on top of interest that compounded quietly every single day nobody was looking. The number you hid becomes smaller than the number you eventually owe. So you sit with a boat you can't fully enjoy, a kitchen you can't talk about at dinner, and a business account you now check every morning with a kind of dread that $2 million was supposed to erase completely. The version of you that stopped reporting didn't get ahead. He just moved the bill somewhere quieter and let it grow interest the entire time he wasn't looking. The system was never trying to catch someone hiding money. It was just waiting, patiently, for the numbers to stop adding up. They always do, eventually. They always will. If this changed how you think about what getting away with it actually looks like underneath the surface, that's exactly what this channel exists to do. The real math hiding beneath the systems you deal with every day. Explain the way nobody bothers to explain it. Like and subscribe for the next one.